problems of modern physics. The second center is Atomic Energy Center, that is focused on nuclear energy, its production, nuclear power engineering, and etc. And the last center is Material Science Center, and it's devoted to different material science, specifically radiation materials. And in total, we have 10 educational programs that are taught in English language, 3 bachelor programs, and 7 master degree programs. Bachelor programs are 4-year programs, and master's program are 2-year programs. We have 2 campuses, one in Moscow and the second one in Obninsk, that is 100 kilometers from Moscow approximately. And here you can see the names of these programs and tuition fee if you want to study on a paid basis. There are several options to enroll in these programs. The first one is to apply the website called Future in Russia, and it offers governmental sponsorships in the term of free scholarships. And to get it, you should undergo a competitive selection process and win the competition and get this scholarship. And the second way is to study on a tuition fee basis, and it's necessary to apply the website INPhE.ru, and you can choose the 3 educational programs, and the price is you can see on the screen. And if you have more questions about programs, you can become familiar with them visiting our websites that you can see on the screen. So we can now, after this short introduction, move to a conversation with our leading scientists. And I can, first of all, I'd like to introduce them. Yuri, probably we will start with you. Tell about your position and where do you work in MEPhI, in Institute of Nuclear Physics and Engineering.
So, hello everyone. My name is Yuri Volkov. I'm associate professor of Institute of Nuclear Physics and Engineering, and I'm a faculty member. I'm a manager of the educational master programs, nuclear engineering and nuclear power engineering, and I will glad to provide to you the short introduction of these programs and answer on any questions if it's appeared.
And thank you very much, Yuri. And the second guest is Pavel. Pavel, your turn.
Hi everyone, my name is Pavel Jmaev. I'm an associate professor of material science department, and today I will speak about our 2 programs on master's degree is materials for nuclear application and materials design and engineering. And if you have some questions, please type them in chat, and if you have free time, we will answer all the questions you have. Thank you.
And thank you, Dmitry.
Hello everyone, my name is Dmitry Samuhin. I head of Department of Nuclear Physics and Engineering in Obninsk branch of National Research Nuclear University of MEPhI. And I will talk about our 5 programs. 3 of them it's a bachelor degree program, and 2 of them it's a master degree program. Thank you.
And Alexander?
Alexander, switch on microphone.
Switch on the microphone.
Excuse me, yes, once again. Hello, my name is Alexander Nakhabov. I am deputy head of nuclear physics engineering department, actually deputy head of Dmitry, and deputy head in, first of all, in foreign student affairs. So today I will accompany to Dmitry to answer all questions regarding our nuclear engineering programs in English medium on Obninsk site of MEPhI.
And Igor?
Hello everyone, so my name is Igor Zadeba, and I am assistant professor of Physical and Engineering Institute, and so I lead courses of nuclear physics and particle physics, and also for courses about engineering and electronics. So I can tell you about all these subjects and all the basic information that you can get from them, and to specify your specialization.
So if you don't mind, we start talking first of all about nuclear engineering and nuclear power engineering educational programs. And Yuri, a question to you. What is the main aim of these programs? To train what specialists? And tell me more about it.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So, because we are without any presentations, I just want to be a bit unfamiliar. So, the nuclear engineering, nuclear power engineering, of course, it's dealt with something with nuclear power plant, and more globally in the nuclear technology. So all what's happened in nuclear, there are two basic approaches. This basic approach, the first, the simulation-based design. So all happened based on the principle that's simulation-based design and risk awareness approach, so-called. Because the most important pillar of nuclear technologies to the safety, and to assure the safety, you need to use the many tools, and the most of the tools is a so-called knowledge database. Knowledge database, I mean the special program codes. You can calculate and simulate all what you want, but to use the proper tools, you need to understand the physics of nuclear reactors. That means the neutronics and thermohydraulics, and very important, the links with the engineering. So we talk about the real object. So this is in material science and special material strengthness and many others engineering areas linked to the physics, like so neutronic physics and thermal physics and others. So this is aim of the program, to prepare the future graduates to be able solve the problems, and create the solution of the problems that happened in nuclear technologies. So just roughly.
And of course, to train so quite high qualified specialists, you have some specific courses. Yes, some basic, of course, and some specific. Can you tell us about them?
Yeah. So this program, nuclear engineering and nuclear power engineering. So we start the education of the program from 2016. We have 3 cohorts of graduates of these programs, and the courses, so it's quite new program, but the courses and the structure of the program is the best practice from our Russian program specialist program. So because from our foundation, our institute in 1942, so we from the very beginning we focus on the nuclear, focus on the civil nuclear energy productions, and nuclear physics of nuclear installations, and we have a very well established the number of the courses, and it's more important we have very good established the links between the courses. The links, I mean the course project, I mean the practice and internships, and in 2016 to 2015, 2016, we translated into English, and we have three very successful cohorts of our graduates. So the courses, the main courses, the first, we have 2 years, of course, that is a master program. And the first year, the main courses want to highlight the neutron transfer theory, the nuclear reactor physics, the thermal physics, the safety, dynamics and the safety of nuclear power installations, and the course project is the first year. So at the second year, there's more interesting courses. Maybe there's a new proliferation nuclear materials, the reliability of nuclear power plants provided our very good faculty members from Obninsk site, and radiation protection of nuclear facilities. And very interesting course of the training course for master theses, and of course the research work we started from the first semester, the second, fourth, and the second, third, and the fourth. It's master theses. So that is my answer.
Yeah, and just another question, and it's a quite complicated field of study, nuclear engineering. And do you require some knowledge before enrolling on this program? I mean,
yes. Thank you for the question. The design of the program is that you can be the freshman, so you can be the newcomer. You have no knowledge about the nuclear before the program, but we have a very good experience of the people with nuclear bachelor, and they came to the program. And so because master program, you know, there's a lot of self-studied, and during the research work, during the work with your scientific advisor, the people got the very good master theses, and they improved the knowledge, improved the so this is competences based on the bachelor of nuclear. But in general, we can accept the people with technical but not nuclear background from bachelor.
And you said that your students are actively involved in research, and what the main fields of this research? Some modeling, something, or what?
So
do you have an experience to work at a real nuclear facility, for example, during the study?
Yeah, yes. Thank you for the question. Well, first of all, I want to say that historically we focus on the position of our future graduates is for research and development organization and regulatory body. So the program of nuclear power engineering is a more focus on the power plants. I do not want to say that if the people go from our program to the nuclear power plants, it's some downgrading. It's not, of course. But you need to understand that the education, the higher the institute, it's not prepared to the job place, because you needed special training courses. So this is every time we have links the educational programs and training programs. And from this position, we have a very good tools based on the simulation of the programs, and a simulation of the process happened actually in the real job place in research and development organization or regulatory body. To go to the nuclear power plants, of course, we have industry practices to introduce the student with the equipment of a nuclear power plant. But I want to say once again, to go to the nuclear power plants, every time you need to pass the special training courses, and so for example, to position of the operator at nuclear power plants, need a special experience and special training courses, of course. But I want to add this program in 2018, we get the public accreditation from our industry partner, state corporation Rosatom. So that means that's formal and bit informal process of assessment our program, our English, it's English language program from the people from industry and from other university, and we successfully passed and we get these public accreditations. And in 2019, our program included in the FIANI index. The FIANI index is a Federation of Professional Engineering in Europe. So let's emphasize, that means and emphasize and highlight that we have a very good links with the industry, with real industry problems. That's my answer.
Well, thank you. Probably we can move on to the next educational. Thank you, Yuri. To next educational programs, and we move to Obninsk programs, and we have two representatives now, Dmitry and Alexander. And tell us what your graduates are in general after the graduation of these programs. I mean, they're also trained to become a specialist to work in the field of nuclear engineering and nuclear technologies. Yes, am I right?
Yes, and first of all, I want a little speech about Obninsk. I think all you know, Obninsk, it's a cradle of the nuclear technology, and the first nuclear power plant in the world, location in Obninsk, and start operation in 1958. And we celebrate in the 75 years. I don't remember exactly. Alexander, yes, 75 years. First nuclear power plants in the world.
Approximately.
Approximately, yes. And of course, and nowadays we increase number of the international students in our department, and of course we work together with our colleagues from Moscow, our head of department, and we invite a specialist from Moscow department and in our branch. And for example, Yuri Volkov in previous year give 2 type lectures in our branch. And nowadays we have a five program in English language. And first of all, I will talk about 3 program. It's a bachelor degree program, and one of direction, it's have a number 14.0301, and I name this program nuclear technologies and research reactor. And this program orientation preparing a specialist for nuclear sphere, and he or she, after ended our courses, may go directly to nuclear power plants on the research reactor and will make operation, for example, these nuclear facilities. And the other program, it's direction 14.0302. Name of the program, radiation technologies in life cycle. Specialist who will have a bachelor degree diploma may work in non-nuclear application, nuclear technology sphere. It's like ecology, biology, and health, life, and others. And the other two program, it's a master degree program, and one of them, it's nuclear power plants, orientation, preparing a specialist for operation nuclear power plants, and research reactor. And the other program, it's direction 40.04.02. It's radiological and radiation protection. Specialist have orientation for design support nuclear power plants and research reactor, and may work in the different nuclear application. It's maybe Alexander Nakhabov and something related.
Yes, maybe I'll add a little bit. Nowadays, when we say about Russian nuclear technologies abroad of Russian Federation, about projects of state corporation Rosatom, first of all, actually we can divide all these projects actually in 2 groups. One group actually is nuclear power plants. Nowadays it's only VVR 1200 megawatts power output. So it's nuclear power plants and all areas around. First of all, operation and many areas around operation of nuclear power plants. And second group is centers. It's centers for nuclear science and technologies. And actually all programs on Obninsk site of MEPhI, actually our programs divides in the same groups. One group of programs, master and bachelor, are more oriented for nuclear power plants, and as Dmitry said, and operation, and others for non-power applications, like healthcare, like nuclear medicine, but more not about medicine, but more about nuclear, actually, in our department, and agriculture, industrial applications, and so on. So actually, it's some internal scheme maybe of our programs. So my amendment.
Yeah, and you have different disciplines, as I see, yeah, for these 2 parts of programs. The first one and the second one related to nuclear centers and nuclear power plants. Yeah, or the curricula are almost the same.
Thank you for the question. If you talk about the bachelor degree program, we have the same curriculum, first and second year courses. And if you talk about next courses, third and fourth, of course, these direction that delivered in the 2 parts. And if you talk about a nuclear technology direction, orientation for operation nuclear power plants on the research reactor, we have practical works in simulators, different simulators, and students operation VVR and research reactor, and organized the practical works in the simulator. And of course, we organized the practical works in our resource center, and all international students in Moscow department and Omnis department have a practical works in Volgodonsk, Novovoronezh, and Obninsk, and for example, Volgodonsk and Novovoronezh orientation prepare specialists for nuclear power plants. First of all, of course, Volgodonsk have a so huge and interesting practical works in Atommash. It's so huge factory with many huge facilities like reactor vessel, pressurizer, and others. It's amazing, and all our students after these practical works said about thank you very much, and I'm so happy when I was there. And if we talk about Obninsk Resource Center, and first of all, the orientation for preparing specialists for future work in the a center, a medicine center, or center for produce new knowledge, nuclear knowledge, and like Alexander Nakhabov said. And it's maybe you know, in Obninsk we have more than 10 different organizations built within the nuclear sphere, and we include all this organization. We invited all this organization in our resource center, and of course we have different courses built with in the nuclear physics, probability safety, nuclear power plants, and economical question and nuclear power plants, and others. Okay, this is my thought.
And you're on a good contact with your industrial partners, as I see, as there are lots of, as you said, organizations in Obninsk who provide these practices. But do you have some infrastructure right on the campus? I mean, maybe some training labs, something like that, to train students right on the campus?
Mm-hmm. Alexander, maybe you said about the fields about resource center allocation in Obninsk.
Yes, maybe.
Branch. Yes.
Yes, when first of all, Dmitry said about this, actually we can say about third resource center of our university located in Obninsk. And first of all, when we say about different facilities available for foreign students, first of all, I'd like to say about simulators. If we say about nuclear power plants operation, like area for training personnel, simulators for different types of reactors. First of all, of course, to train future operators and specialists of reactor shop, of turbine shop, of Department of Nuclear Safety. Then we have a lot of labs for thermal hydraulics. Thermal hydraulics, because actually nuclear power plants, it's not only neutronics. It's not only core, it's not only reactor vessel, but actually it's huge number of pipelines of different tanks, reservoirs, and so on. And first of all, thermal hydraulics, of course, is very important area. And we have full spectra of labs to investigate different aspects of this issue. We have one lab of non-destructive testing. It's some specific area, first of all, for repair and maintenance of nuclear power plants, and objects of, to use nuclear energy. And for non-power applications, like agriculture and so on, there are not so big facilities, but nevertheless, there are several labs for different research in area of environmental sciences, first of all. And I think that's all. If we say about different facilities on the campus itself, it's actually all numbers of different equipment. Yes,
Maybe a few words about our industrial partner DOZA and equipment.
Yes, maybe. We have our industrial partner. It's a private company, DOZA, formerly from Rosatom. And this company is one of the leader of Russian and foreign market, if we say about equipment for dosimetry. For dosimetry, for measurement of radiation, ionizing radiation, and on all nuclear power plants and a lot of nuclear facilities in the Russian Federation and abroad, there are equipment installed from this company. So we have special class fully equipped from this company just to provide this education for foreign students as well.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So nice answer to our question. And can you tell us something about students' life? For example, do you organize some meetings or summer schools, internships for students? What can they do beyond the course on holiday, something like that?
Okay, maybe I start and Alexander. And we have many different applications in students' life, and we have a green campus, and our campus location only 100 kilometers from Moscow, in the green zone, green grass, and others. And of course, our students play football, volleyball, and different games. And if talked about summer school, and this year we organized in the for summer school, and it's usually we have our main summer school and non-destructive testing material, and Alexander Nakhabov, head of this school, and he will explain about this school a little bit later. And school about ecology, radiation, or dosimetry protection. Alexander, I don't know. A clear title.
Protection, first of all.
Radiation protection. And these two schools we organized each year or during 3 or 4 years. And this year we opened 2 new summer school. One of them it's reliability and safety nuclear power plants, and I head of department of this school. And this week we organized this school. And the other summer school dealt with and head of Belarus Anatolich, Alexander Vladimirovich. Do you remember? It's a
name of summer school?
Yes.
It's not so specific for our department, but actually this school about machine learning and big data. Big data regarding for nuclear field, but it's actually like border between IT technologies and nuclear field, actually.
And this summer school, we invite not only our students, and first of all, we invite all specialists around the world. And for example, in this year, we have a newcomers from more than 15 different countries in this summer school. And we presented in our university, National Research Nuclear University of MEPhI, and organized so interesting practical works. And this year, it's of course, we all know we have all the world coronavirus and other, and we organized so interesting summer school online. And we have so good we had so good time together with these students. And maybe Alexander Nakhabov said about other activity of our international students.
Yes, because Dmitry said actually summer schools, it's more about not academic, but about maybe science, education, but during summer semester. But of course, except of education, our foreign students, of course, have a possibility to gain a lot of different activities, not only academic activities. First of all, in Obninsk, there is very famous, very good student theater, and foreign students actually have a possibility to play actually in this theater and so on. Of course, maybe language can be some barrier, but actually it's possible. A lot of different clubs, like club to learn Russian language. It's actually not academic. It's only for students because, for example, Russian students can help for foreign students to study Russian language, to go deep in Russian culture, and so on and so on. Because Obninsk, it's located in the Kaluga region, only, as my colleague said, only 100 kilometers away from Moscow. But actually, a lot of different old architecture around, different very interesting places, and so on. Of course, it's very interesting for our students not only to study in Russia, to study nuclear, but of course to touch our culture, our language, and so on, all around Russia. And I'd like to say about one very interesting festival every year. As usual in spring, this festival is arranged in Obninsk, and idea is simple. Our students from different countries just cook different dishes from local cuisines, for example, just to organize special stands, just to provide some information about your country, like, I don't know, photos, maybe pictures, and so on. And the second part, it's actually like a concert from foreign students with play on guitar, with songs, with national wear, and so on. It's very interesting. And year by year, we invite our colleagues from Rosatom because it's very bright event and very interesting. So anyway, for every foreign student, of course, it's not only just go deep in science and that's all. We have a lot of different activities all around dormitory for our foreign students.
Well, thank you, Alex. It's so nice information, a lot of information, and I want to become a student as well.
Thank you for question.
So let's move to the next, our guest, Pavel, and you represent Material Science Department.
Yes, Alexander.
Please, it's a very broad branch of science, material science, and what specific areas of material science do you study at your department?
Okay, thank you for question. So, in common words, fields of professional activities of our graduates is theoretical and experimental investigations for solving some research and technological tasks in the field of reactor material science and renewable energy. So, and these tasks include the development of new materials with specified properties. So, the study of physical principles of the production and processing of the materials, study of functional and structural materials using the modern equipment for material characterization, mechanical testing, and so on. So, as well as study of the process of evolution of structure of metals, alloys, and ceramics under the operation condition, including some extreme operation conditions such as radiation, high temperatures, highly corrosive medium of exploitation of the materials. So, and as well, our graduates during the study have several courses on the operation of technological and equipment for materials characterization. So we can say that our graduates also become not only the scientists, but they can be a highly skilled operator of some technological or analytical equipment. So if we go closer to our scientific areas which we work on in our department, so first lab work on development and investigation of nuclear fuel for operating reactors, which operates nowadays, and prospective nuclear fuel for reactors of next generation. Other group works on the topic of consolidation of powders. This is the sintering of ceramics, metals, and some complex composites of metals with ceramics, ceramics with some special materials. For example, we can sinter, we can join together some ceramics like glass with graphene and provide this glass special electrical conductivity and so on. Other scientific area of our department is the ion beam and plasma modification of materials and application of coatings on the materials. We have some machines for magnetron sputtering, ion beam guns, and plasma device combined in one installation, so we can make the ion beam and plasma modification of materials. Next group works on the development of amorphous or nanocrystalline alloys, which have some special properties due to their structure. Then we have analytical laboratories such as electron microscopy laboratory for characterization of materials, including scanning electron microscope, transmission electron microscope. We have optical microscopy laboratory, and also we have very, as I can say, the well-known X-ray structural and phase analysis group, which is well-known in the world of material science. And of course, we have a group of computer modeling of materials, of their physical and mechanical properties. So our scientific areas is very broad.
Okay, and coming back to students, you have two educational programs, materials design and engineering and materials for nuclear application. And judging from the name of these programs, materials for nuclear application is more related to nuclear technologies.
Yes, exactly.
Am I right? And what are key differences?
Program materials for nuclear applications is mainly focused on the radiation material science, on the process which occur in solids under the influence of various types of radiation. Also, we speak about how to create and produce radiation-resistant materials which can be used in nuclear power plants or fusion reactors. Okay, and the second program is materials design and engineering, and this program is mainly focused on the technology of materials production. It's not so, focused on exactly the radiation material science. Of course, since we are a nuclear research university, we have the courses on the nuclear material science. But also, this program is focused on the methods of materials characterization, how to investigate their structure, elemental composition, chemical composition. So how to create new alloys which can be used in any energy-intensive equipment, and how the main design principles of advanced structural and functional materials. So it's not so strongly focused on nuclear materials, but
Also
focused on technological aspects of materials science, how to create materials and so on.
Yeah, and do you have some international projects or maybe some organizations all over the world are involved in research here at your
Yes,
department?
sure. We have strong and long-term cooperation with some US and European universities. And for example, we have a joint project with University Paris South. It's located in Marseille, France, and near this university they have national laboratory. In English, it's called Center for Nuclear Science and Materials. And they have unique installation called Janus in the name of ancient god with two heads. So, and they have unique accelerator facility which we use to work to simulate the radiation damage of materials during the exploitation in nuclear reactors. So we have some projects on oxide dispersion strength steels, which is planned to be as a structural material for future fusion reactors. Also, we have joint project with some German universities, for example, with Dortmund University in Germany, on brazing of austenitic steels for automotive industry. They have very strong connection with leading Germany automotive fabricators as Audi, BMW, Mercedes-Benz. So we also work in this field. We are not fixed on nuclear materials. And for example, we have a joint project with Institute for Energy Technology in Kjeller, Norway, on materials for renewable energy. So, and we have courses on these topics. So we have.
And courses can be taught not only by Russian lecturers, but have you some invited scientists that can give some courses for students, as you have so strong connections?
Yes, and in fact, I can say that foreign professors teach almost the half of the courses on these two programs. So we have professors from Massachusetts Institute of Technology who gives a course on radiation materials science. So also have professor from Texas A&M University, which give an invited course in materials for nuclear applications. We have professors from Scandinavian countries, from Oslo University, from Uppsala University. They provide courses on materials for renewable energy production and so on. So we have professors from Slovakia, Ukraine, Belarus, Kazakhstan. So, and also more to say, I want to say that each year we organize winter school, a week, duration of week, and we invite a lot of foreign professors and leading Russian scientists to give lectures for our students. So.
Of course, it's available for international students as well, yeah?
Of course, yes. It is available for any person who is interested in materials. So you also can join Alexander at the school, maybe this November, if you want so.
Thank you, Paul, very much. We can talk about material science for hours, I think, but we have one more guest, Igor.
Thank you.
Please tell us about the program called High Energy Physics and Astrophysics. The basics of it, what this program is about, courses, research, etc.
So, hello once again. So our course is firstly dedicated for fundamental science. Um, we are concerned on two, well, basic problems. So it's accelerator particle physics and cosmic ray particle physics. So firstly, we're talking about elementary particles. And we combine both experimental and theoretical physics in our course. So all of you can choose. Um, some of you maybe want to practice in experiment in the creation of detectors in large setups and maybe participate in some collaborations, international collaborations. And part of you can participate in theoretical work, and also that is much needed in that collaborations too. So our courses include uh, no matter what chair or what group you will join. So anyway, you will go through all basic nuclear physical nuclear physical courses. It's just nuclear physics, particle physics, astrophysics, and all these subjects. And also you will you will really able to choose what you prefer. So if you are really great in math and you like it, so you can do really great job scientific work, for example, with Professor Rubin. And also we have several international professors from Turin University, from Deutschland, from Scandinavia, and you can do your scientific work with them. And about our experimental park, let's call it so. So we have several unique scientific installations, and it's working scientific setups, and it's really known internationally. So first of so maybe the largest of them is Nevat Experimental Complex. So you can Google it or find it our website. So it's one of the largest scientific setups in universities at all, and it's designed specially for nuclear physics and for cosmic ray research. So we do investigate extensive showers with huge energies, and you should know that the energy of these particles that we can detect is higher in orders in comparison with Large Hadron Collider and so. So we're really working with ultra high energy um, particles, and we investigate the processes that happen in their interactions with atmosphere and so on. And the another setup is xenon neutrino detector that is also designed as a nuclear physical setup, very interesting, and it's designed especially for work at nuclear power plant, and we can detect anti-neutrinos from reactor, and it's also very bright project, international project, and I think it will be also interesting for you. So we're working with experiments at the orbit, satellites experiments. So well, in fact, working at our laboratories and learning at our course, you can in fact join any scientific, large scientific collaborations or group. So we will help you, and you really can make a very bright work. And what is maybe will be important, especially for you, is that after MEPhI, after our course, after, for example, well, NEVAT laboratory, when you can make your graduate work. So in fact, we cannot, so we don't have any situations that students weren't able to get into any other university in the world. So our students from our laboratory, for example, so they're working in Pennsylvania, in IceCube, in several German and French universities, in Italy, and other universities. So the idea that our course, our diploma, in fact, it's a very nice ticket to the international science. So maybe you really will like our laboratories. So it's also, in fact, international laboratories. So you can stay here and continue your PhD work, and we will help you. And I think that you will be able, all of you will be able to do this PhD works. So just work hard, and you will get result. And so, Alexander, maybe.
I have a question. You said that the students actively participate in modern experiments, and what specific skills they get during the education that they can so easily apply in real scientific project? Maybe some programming languages.
Yes, okay. So the idea that, in fact, we are making rather universal soldiers in this course concerning experimental physics. What do I mean? Is the idea is that you will touch both experimental and theoretical physics, and what is rather rare in this field. We'll look at other universities, international, well, in other countries, that we try to give the basic both engineering and scientific education. So the idea is that our specialists, our students, so they're able to, in fact, to make design of any particle physics detector. So they know the basics. So also working in our laboratories, they have practice. So they know which electronics they should choose. They know both the design concerning engineering. So what installations, what metals and materials they should use in these setups. Also, they have several theoretical courses, so they know fundamentally the basics of particle physics. And I think that it's very helpful. For example, if you choose theoretical direction, and also you know anything, or well, maybe not anything, but a lot of about experiment. You know about how detectors work, the types of these detectors, types of electronics, types of all these little details that are very, they can give very sensitive response and final result. So, from other hand, if you are if you are experimental physics specialist, so it's also very helpful for you to know these theoretical basics about fundamental interaction, about particle physics, cross sections, and so on. And concerning programming, so we provide courses in C++, in Python, but in fact you should know that in your theoretical and in your experimental work you also will be always working with programming. So anyway, it's part of your graduate work anyway. So surely you will be helped to get through these languages.
Thank you. And what about other opportunities for your students, for example, to present their results at international conferences or visit international summer schools?
Okay, so the idea that you start your scientific work from you are able to start your scientific work from the first day you come to MEPhI. So that allow you in the first year to make the scientific work good enough to present it in the international conference, on summer school, or anywhere. So if you if you're working nice, so you give nice results. So a lot of our students till the final work, till they graduate, so they can get, for example, several nice publications in international journals. Well, Q1, Q2, and it's really you're really able to do this. The only question is just do you want to have it or not? So if you want to, so you are able to work hard and achieve these results. So we will help you anyway.
And I see the graduates can pursue a career, academic career, and follow, for example, a PhD program after the graduation. Am I right?
Yes. And the idea that we're working rather, we have a rather dense work with the CERN. So it's also, and Dubna experiment, Nika and RIC in Germany, and STAR experiment, STAR in the United States. And in fact, you can really join these collaborations. And then, for example, if you are nice, your scientific work is effective, it's nice, and then you can continue your work in our university in these collaborations, or you can go to these collaborations in other universities in the United States, in Germany, France, Italy, and any country.
Well, thank you very much. And now I think we have had a good conversation, and we have some questions in our chat, and I try to tell you about them, and probably we together can answer them. We have a question from Ahmed Rebi. The question is, hello, dear professors. I'm enjoying learning about different programs from all of you. I have a question. How can I join into one of these programs with scholarship? As I said at the very beginning, you have to apply for governmental scholarship. It's located on the website Future and Russia. You have to sign up there, fill several forms, and to become a member of a big database of applicants. And after some procedure, the university and the Ministry of Science and Education of the Russian Federation can choose some successful candidates, and you can, for free, enroll on all these programs that we offer at our university. That's the only way to get a scholarship. It's from the Russian Federation government. Yeah, there are also a question from Hamis Sebi. This is nice. Please provide for us our website after. I'm from Uganda. Yes, of course. In the presentation, you can probably saw two websites. The first website is about our institute personal website, official website. On this website, you can find all educational programs which we offer, all information which you are interested in, and some other aspects of studying at MEPhI, at Institute of Nuclear Physics and Engineering. And the second website, inter.mephi.ru, is a website that is devoted directly to students who want to learn about educational programs and how to apply for them, some general information, exams, how to apply, and tuition fee, and other costs of living in Moscow and in MEPhI, how much is the dorm, or something like that. There are two websites, and we will leave in the chat under our video. So another guy is asking, Afiz Ahmed, so what master degree is more opt for me in MEPhI? I don't know how to answer these questions. I think all programs are good, and it strongly depends on your interests and probably your background, and it's up to you to choose a proper program for you. All programs are available for all international students, and you are welcome. So I think that's it. We don't. There are more questions. Yeah, there are more questions, and we're looking for them. And just a second to find them. Probably there are some questions about. Yeah. Yeah, there are much more questions as I see. Felix, there is a question in Russian. There is one comment. Please, can you send us a link of different courses and fees? Of course, we will provide this link, and you can find all information about costs and different courses. One question in Russian. Can you tell us about courses about programming, software development? I don't understand what the person meant. Probably Yuri can tell us something about software development related to nuclear engineering. Some codes for neutrons transport, something like that. Probably this question is about that.
Yeah.
Just the talk about.
I will start, and I think every program we have a certain activity with development of the software. So if it's a huge area, it's a very vast area. So it's difficult to say that be clear what does it mean. I can tell what we do at doing our education. So we have courses in learning and educating the people in the program of Fortran and Python course. It's common. It's a common technique for every engineer. So in nuclear engineering, the Fortran, it's quite old program tools, but we used to, and so it's a certain time we use. And the more interesting for us, yeah, we have a lot of simulation codes, and maybe the most problem for us is to link the codes. So this is the programs need to 2 or 3 codes, and how to link, so organize the exchange of data. That is the questions, and it's a bit difficult. So we are focused on this, and developing the new software. It depends on the people, it depends on the student, it depends on the background. So my personal work, I so improve the program codes by using the high performance calculations. So that is mean the parallel calculations by INPhE. So that's what I do. That's what I do with my students. But it depends on the students. So maybe the other friends so continue.
And Igor, you wanted to add something? Turn on the microphone.
Yes, I wanted to add that in fact, we have other institutes that are specially have specially
Yes.
dedicated courses in software engineering. So in fact, so that so don't want you to be disappointed. So if you choose these courses and you realize that you wanted to be a software designer and we are feeding you with nuclear physics, so in fact you should realize it. So, but in fact, I should say that in IT market, so if we look at it, at Russian IT market and international IT market, so we can find numerous people who graduated from nuclear physical subjects. So you know that in fact, so we give a really nice basis, and with this basis, you can go, in fact, everywhere. And I think you'll be smart enough, and you will know enough. So, but in fact, we don't teach software design itself. So we just like a part of something more basic. So I think you should know that.
Thank you. Yeah, I think we have another question. Is it possible to transfer from another university starting from the second semester to enroll at MEPhI in January, or should we wait until the fall next year? Thank you. Frankly speaking, I'm not sure whether you have an opportunity or possibility to transfer from another university from the second semester. Probably someone knows the answer. Just can you change the university during the education process?
Alexander, first of all, I think it depends on university in our Russian university or our university abroad, first of all.
I don't know. The answer from Nisrin Bakayev, probably he studies at the university in Russia. For example, from the Russian university. I don't know. Is it
about second semester? I'm not sure actually, because as usual we say about 1 year. After 1 year, maybe after second semester, maybe it's possible. But anyway, the simplest way just to write application, I guess in name of Olga Petukhova maybe, because as usual, students from our university just write about I am from this university, this specialty. If scholarship, you should indicate, of course, about this. And I think every situation should be decided separately. But in general, yes, it's possible. We need to revise your documents, your university, your curriculum.
And we had such situation previous 2 or 3 years. I know international students from other university in our country moved to our university, and Alexander Nakhabov dealt with this university.
From the Russian university.
Yes.
From abroad, I think it's impossible.
Not abroad in Russia.
As I know, from foreign universities, yes, it was prohibited, because in this situation you can apply for the first year as usual, and maybe after this, maybe some courses will be checked as permitted, because it's impossible to transfer from foreign university in Russia. But anyway, if someone is very interested in such a procedure, it's better just to provide application with more details, and in every situation we can decide, I think.
Yeah, I want to add that so most usable way is to change university after the 1 year, not in the midst of the year, and depends on the scholarship or not. So I think in 99% you will start from the beginning. So it's very hard to use your assessment, your marks you got from another university. So you just need to once again from the first semester start.
Thank you, Yuri. Just the next question is from Elza Elzira. Hello, professor. Is it possible if I take my master degree in technology nuclear, even my bachelor don't have any correlation? My bachelor is chemistry education. Thank you. I think Yuri.
Yes.
Yeah.
The answer is yes. Moreover, I maybe recommend to link your future work with decommissioning. So very interesting. It's most up to date the problems in nuclear. So this is knowledge in chemistry. So the nuclear. So it's very good. So
Yes. Go ahead.
Yes, first of all, of course, I agree with Yuri, but I'd like to add that in general, when we say about, for example, nuclear operational nuclear power plants or nuclear technologies, yes, for our foreign students, as usual, we said about the better way for your background, for your bachelor background. Of course, you know it's very rare situation about nuclear bachelor program, because as usual, nuclear it's master area. So about bachelors, as usual, we say about it's very good to have mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, chemical engineering, because actually for chemical, yes, like Yuri said, it may be decommissioning or nuclear power plant, there is water treatment shop, especially for chemical specialists. So chemical, it's not problem actually. You should to choose appropriate program, and it can be good finally.
That's just to summarize. It's the best thing is to have a solid background in maths, physics, and any technical sciences. Yes, and
yeah, in general, yes.
Okay. One more question from. If I'm not right, don't judge me strictly. The name is Emmanuel J. The question is, as an industrial physicist, can I study nuclear technologies and radiation technologies? I think it's the same question, and
yes,
industrial physicists, the background looks similar to the previous question. Eli Iba asks, what about students' jobs? Who wants to answer these questions?
Okay, let I start maybe, and my colleagues, I think, can add information about work. Of course, first of all, students should know that in Russia, of course, you will study in English program, for example, English medium, but of course, you will get visa, Russian visa, and of course, this visa is student ones. So, of course, it's prohibited to work in general sense for students, because it's supposed that you visit Russia Federation just to get education. But nowadays, as I know, on Moscow side, maybe there are some options to attract students, like, I don't know, like assistants or something like this. Because I think we should to say about work in university, because for usual sense, it's impossible. But for working in university, maybe my colleagues can provide more information.
Yeah, you're right that in Moscow now almost all students can apply for some sort of assistantship, but it's on a competitive basis. Not everybody gets it, but you can work in the department for example, as a lab assistant or something like that. But I think the question is about future jobs, students' jobs. I don't know, maybe students. Maybe the question to work outside the university is prohibited.
Yes, because it's not working visa actually.
You can't work in.
But by the way, I'd like to add maybe it's story of last year. Maybe I know several very interesting examples when our colleagues from Rosatom State Corporation, from different divisions, just provided some work for students of MEPhI, Moscow site, as I know, for some extra money. But of course, it's considered not as pure work. It's actually like some collaboration or something like this, because our colleagues are very interested in translating of some documents from some native languages, like Bengali, like some African maybe languages, and so on. So in this sense, yes, I think it's of course it's not obligation our university, but of course we can try to find something interesting for our future students. But of course, it's hard to say about usual work for everybody outside of university in Russia. Of course, it's not the case.
Yeah, thank you, Alexander. The next question from Afiz Ahmed. And is it mandatory to take Russian language course? I think it's if you study English medium program, it's not mandatory, but there are some Russian language courses.
Yes, you have a foreign language courses, and for Russian student, it's usually the English. For English speaking student, it's Russian, and it's very good to know a bit Russian if you study in Russian. And your depends on the program, but for our program we have strong links with Rosatom, and you're from other countries, and you future will work with Rosatom. It's very your advantages to know Russian. So this is anyway. So it's not mandatory. I mean, it's not mandatory to know Russian previously, but you will start the learning Russian from very beginning. Yeah? I think it's very good experience for you anyway.
Yeah, and if you are going to work at the Russian built nuclear power plants, I think the language is really an asset, and it's a good start for your future career as the facilities built by Rosatom.
And Alexander, I'd like to add to Yuri as well. Of course, in Auburn, it's the same situation. Foreign students will have foreign language. It will be Russian language actually. It's okay, but of course, as usual, of course, all foreign students will live in our dormitories. Actually, not in mixing rooms with Russians, but anyway, nearby with Russian students. And of course, foreign students will have possibility to learn in Russian, because I think, of course, it's impossible. It's very important, because we will give you some basic knowledge. I don't know how to go to store, how to go to bank. I don't know to form usual life. But a lot of Russian friends, and in our experience, a lot of students from Zambia, from Bangladesh. Yes, it's not mandatory for the students, but after 2 years, the students will say me in Russian, hello, goodbye, and so on, at least. some Russian knowledge anyway will be provided. But if students intended to study Russian, I think we can provide more possibilities, not only this course in curriculum, but more possibilities to improve Russian language.
Thank you. There are some questions. Next questions. Hi, is there any scholarships for engineering masters? A question from Mohamed Sharaf. But I already said about scholarships. I think we have nothing to add about scholarships. And another question from Daniele Iba. But is it possible to get scholarship in the second years of master?
What does it mean in the second year? Only?
Yeah.
Only.
I didn't get the answer or the question, but probably the same question about moving from another university to our university within the scholarship.
Yes, Alexander, maybe this question is linked with situation in some countries. Maybe you know, it's not the law that master program for 2 years. For example, now I know in Serbia master program only 1 year, and for bachelor in Egypt, bachelor is 5 years, not 4.
5 years.
So in some situations, yes, there is some misalignment maybe between Russian system and foreign system, but by default, yes, we say about 4 years bachelor programs and 2 years masters. All exceptions should be considered separately, because by default, of course, it's money, and we can say only about not second year, only 2 years master program scholarship for all term. Yes, all changing should be discussed with maybe with Russian embassy, Russian representatives in your country, because I heard name looks like some from Middle East maybe and so on, but in this case it's better to address to Russian embassy or Russian Center of Science and Culture, maybe to write in MEPhI, in official contacts. I guess it's Olga Petukhova with explaining of situation, and we can give more detailed answer.
Well, thank you for clarification. And next, that Igor, probably it's question for you. Afiza Hamed is writing, I am a chemical engineering graduate from India, passionate in dark matter detector and quark-gluon plasma research. Which course in MEPhI is open for me to pursue my career in CERN, Geneva?
So, Alexander, in fact, it's also about a question about you, since you work with xenon detector.
Yeah, I can tell. If you concerning background, it's the same answer. If you have a good knowledge in physics, mathematics, you're welcome to program called high energy physics and astrophysics. Concerning dark matter,
we had a bunch of chemical students with a chemical degree here in MEPhI. They graduated it, and concerning dark matter, so you get the right address. So we're really working with that physics, and here you will be able to do your master degree work in this field. And then, if you want to, you can continue your scientific work at CERN if you want.
Yeah, especially quark-gluon plasma research. It's experiment Alice at CERN, and we have a group at MEPhI who works for this experiment. And if you apply on our program, you can join this group and pursue a career in physics in the field of search for quark-gluon plasma. Yeah, one more question from Rabbi Chan. Hi, first of all, thank you for your informing us. I wonder that are the applications opened one time or 2 times in a year? I think it's about application process, and just from the general view, we start our admission process in spring, yes, in May, generally, and finish.
Quota scholarship or
I think it's in general we can divide in 2 categories. The first is about scholarships and general process of getting applications on
yes, scholarship traditionally, yes. Nowadays we have some restrictions due to coronavirus, but as usual it was end of application as usual it was approximately 1st of April, approximately. Nowadays I think all these terms were shifted, but for fee paid basis, I think of course it's more broader range.
It's broader, but the deadline is I think at the end of October, the date of the last exam. It's in October. And concerning scholarships, it's better to start the process earlier, as earlier as you are able to start, because it's a long way.
Anyway, I think if some student just asked us about this situation, it's better as soon as possible. Now they provide this conference, and if you have some ideas or you want to enroll in MEPhI, of course, I think it's better to make sooner anyway, because now it's actually end of July.
Yeah, it's and we don't take we don't accept students in winter. The education starts in September. Yeah, the beginning of the in September. And if you are behind the schedule, you have to start not from the very beginning. Yes, if you can be accepted in October, you have to compensate for the lost time. Yes, but technically
and, I'd like to add information for scholarship. Maybe it's interesting for our colleagues. As I know, nowadays, of course, it's late. It's July, but as I know, if you want, for example, to get scholarship, maybe of course it depends on country, but maybe you will have a chance. Anyway, you should as soon as possible to address in Russian embassy or Russian Science of Culture and Science and Culture in your country, because I know now we have some future students after first wave of enrollment. But my colleagues said me in some countries like Egypt, for example, it will be second wave in August. Anyway, maybe some vacant places and so on. Anyway, it's better to contact as soon as possible. Maybe you will be so lucky you will get this scholarship this year. But in general, yes, you should to think about this starting from February as usual.
And just a question from Mohammed about scholarships as well, and so I think you have just answered this question. The question was, what about the scholarships of nuclear education this year? I think
yes, because
keep your eye.
It looks like Jordan or Egypt or maybe some countries nearby. Okay. Yes, it's better to contact with our colleagues. Because yes, you said about future in Russia website, and I've discussed this point with my colleagues from Rosatom. So they said that I don't know if this possibility is not closed through website. I think it's better just to apply, and maybe you will have a chance.
Thank you. I want to add, just keep your eyes open and try to contact all officials in your embassy, because it's quite in this time it can be quite complicated due to restrictions in the country, but proceed looking for a chance. Yes, the next questions from Mohammed Sharaf. It's about fellow professors. I want to know if there are any grants for master's degree in engineering field. I think it's the same question about scholarships. And another question from him is there any grant? How can I get one? It's just, the answer is the same, a scholarship from the Russian Federation government.
Yes, Alexander, and I'd like to clarify that under grants, actually we say about scholarships. So scholarship of Russian Federation, because maybe students say about grants like in Western universities. Of course, it's not the case. Actually, you have two possibilities to get scholarship from your country, maybe with extra stipend from your country, but it depends on country, of course. Or you just enter in MEPhI like foreign students on fee-paid basis. But in case of fee-paid basis, I know there are no grants to reduce this cost. So actually, only two variants.
And I think one more question from Mohammed is adding some information. I'm 20 years old with no engineering related experience work. Can I pursue a master degree in nuclear engineering now? But if with no engineering related experience work, as we said, if you have some knowledge in maths, physics, you can apply for nuclear engineering and related fields.
Not only of maths and physics and wish to study in this area. Because, yes, of course it will be very hard without maths and physics. Anyway, it's very hard to go through the first exam session anyway. But yes, you wish some background in these areas and you wish to study these new courses.
I can say that's maybe most important, the math. Of course, it's bad situation if the first year we need to explain how to solve the differential equations.
Yeah. And the question from Afis Ahmed, career opportunities for high energy physics and astrophysics. Yegor, and what can you say about career opportunities for a person who graduated from your program? To be a scientist?
Yes, so well, I said it on several times. So the idea that you can choose your theoretical career, theoretical physics career, so you can choose engineering career, you can choose experimental physics career. So all doors are open for you. Just work hard in that field that you like, that you choose, and in fact, anything is possible. Since the status of MEPhI and it's well known in international scientific society, so that means that you can choose any way you want. So I think that's all.
Yeah, I just want to add that after graduation, you can work in different fields, not only in high energy physics. You can change your occupation, and there are a lot of our alumni who work in commercial organizations like banks, industrial companies, because we provide a solid knowledge not only in nuclear physics but in mathematics, programming, and you can apply this knowledge in any field because it's a solid base for your future career in any field. And the question from Nisrin Bakayev again, will this education year be on campus or online? Thank you again. Uh, it's a very good question, I think, because nobody
Please
knows
tell
for
us
sure
if you want
what,
to know.
what is awaiting us in the future. It's. I just can't tell you that it's totally depends on the situation with the virus in Russia in general, and the university has a policy that we should follow the rules from authorities, from the Ministry of Education, and now we don't know in what form the education starts in September.
Actually, for me, I prefer to educate by online after these 2 months, much more compared to the state desk and to write the formula by the so this is it.
And
Marker, they're just sitting at my kitchen and with my cat and write the lectures.
And Paul, do you like teaching online more, or?
Yes, yes. I think a lot of opportunities by online. Of course, the problem with laboratory, and but I think maybe the beginning of this year, I do not know, but maybe the first semester, the whole semester, or part of the semester will be online, but it's not a problem. That is no problem. It's how the tools allow us to do all the activity, approximately all activity by online. Except maybe the very important part of the laboratories and some practicals.
But I think we are able to compensate for the lost labs in the first semester, for example, in the future, during the second semester. And I think we can start online, and of course, you will not get a certificate, online certificate. Of course, you will come. Definitely, you will come to Russia and continue your education on the campus.
Alexander, yeah, I'd like to add to your words. I think for our future students, of course, it's worth to know about. Yes, as I said, our university, first of all, concerns about health of students, of professors. And this situation is strange, but first of all, it's the same for all universities, not only for MEPhI. And yes, I feel nowadays it's hard to say something, but anyone who wants to to enroll in MEPhI, I think anyway it's better to apply in our admission commission, and of course we will keep informed with students about all changing, because maybe our ministry will say about, okay, you can realize as usual, but maybe it will be, I don't know, 20 of August. And of course, it's problem with visa, with flight tickets, and so on. As I know, for all our students, we will find some best variant. And I guess, of course, it can be mixed situation. Maybe mixed means partly offline, partly online for different guys who in Russia or abroad, for example. But I think it should be not barrier for our students of this year. Please apply, and I hope all will be okay. At least after New Year, I hope all these restrictions will be cancelled. Anyway.
Yeah, I want just to add that this situation is so harsh, almost in all countries all over the world, and in all Russian universities, and as well. And I think it's just you have to apply, try to find the best program for you, and teach and study. and finally you will get on the campus and get all education you wanted. I think there are no more questions, just nice comments, and I would like to read them. The first comment is, thank you, it was helpful. I have taken a course on nuclear reactor in EDX by the professor. Sorry, it's hard to remember Russian name. It was great, thank you. I think it's Yuri about you. You have a course on EDX platform about nuclear reactors.
I guess, yes, I'm there, but I guess about, am I the only or not?
Yeah, and there are some also comments from Urfa. Hello everyone, I hope you are doing well and healthy. Take care. Thank you so much for your time and kindness, and please keep this awesome live video on YouTube. I think that's all. We don't have more questions. I just to say thank you for all participants, for all our guests, for your time, and for keeping this conversation live. And I think it was useful for our prospective students. Thank you very much. If someone wants to add something, you're welcome.
So I just want to say thank you all of you very much, because I know that's many new information about our neighbor programs. I think maybe this we need to do this webinar every year. Maybe we should start early, February.
Maybe in future we can organize webinars about specific programs. Maybe choose one program and prepare a presentation, show details, some more information on programs online. I think it would be great in future.
Yeah. Dear our future students, if you have a more question, please don't hesitate and write email for us, and all our contact you may find in our website MEPhI.com. Yes, and of course we write answer for you. Thank you for your attention. Bye.
Bye. Yeah, there are programs on the website, and there are contacts of program managers, and you can write them directly by email. It's fine. We will be glad to answer all your questions. Okay, thank you very much.
Of course, we will be glad to see you in MEPhI.
See you in MEPhI.
Thank you. Goodbye.